Hey YouTube, Crimson Vapor here, and today I think we're going to talk about how I got into vaping. I started smoking, I was fairly old, I was like 25 or so, and I decided one day I was browsing through the internet and came across, the blue. Everybody now has heard of the blue, you can get them in every corner store, Well, when I got into it, it was like 2009, 2010, and I found it on the internet, and I ordered it. Well, funny story here. Recently I went to visit my mom, and I live in Washington, she lives in Arizona, and I was going through some of my stuff that was at her house, and I came across my blue that I had, in 2009. So, yeah, this is what I originally had started with. And this is the old school blue cigs. I mean, the date on this thing is somewhere on here. Here we go. 2009. So, that was 5 years ago. And this, at that time, came with the blue cig pack, charging cord for the USB, wall wart. I don't even think this actually works anymore. I tried it and couldn't get it to do anything. Still works. And then a standalone charger, plug in your USB, whatever. I mean, the coolest thing about this entire set is the fucking box. I mean, my ex-wife and I, we both had one. And, I kept my box for various, D&D figures. And then, it came with your pack, little charging port here, and of course this came with cartomizers cartridges, and they're long gone by now. But it's funny, when I found this, there's also a bottle of 24 milligram strawberry Johnson Creek juice that I had ordered from them, and it was like molasses. It was pretty freaking gross. So yeah, I mean, this is what you got back then, and for what it was, it performed really good. I mean, the reason I didn't stick with it back then was more because then I had to order it all online, and I didn't have a whole lot of money back then, so it kind of went by the wayside, and didn't really use it much after the first cartridges were out and stuff like that. And it came with 2 batteries, and then package of cartridges, I think it was. I can't remember. Actually, it says on here. 1 pack, 2 batteries, 1 atomizer, 1 wall charger, 1 USB charger. I know it came with some cartridges, but again, they're long gone by now. So after that, kind of went on hiatus, kept smoking for a while, and then a few months ago, went into my local convenience store and saw the new blue cig. And overall, the kit's very similar to this one. A lot more compact. And this comes with, this has all been open, so it comes with a wall charger or with a USB charger that charges the pack, which, I don't really care for. I wish they would have given a charger similar to this so you could charge the batteries standalone. And this comes with, same thing, 2 batteries. And I seem to have misplaced the other battery. Oh, there it is. Yeah, it comes with 2 batteries. And then it came with a package of carts. And, this is one of the new cartridges. And let's see if either of these batteries work. If either of them have a charge on them. I can kind of show you what kind of vapor you can get from this. Yeah, it's like smoking a cigarette. Really has no flavor whatsoever. This is supposed to be cherry, and it doesn't really taste like much of anything. Yeah, I mean, when I first started these, It was great, you know. I loved it. But, you know, like most people who start vaping and stick with it, eventually they outgrow this and they want something different. And, you know, these batteries, you know, they're fine. I mean, this is one of the batteries from the old blue. The old blue. Apparently it doesn't work anymore. It's trying. But yeah, nothing. Let's see if the other one works. Oh, this one's dead. Alright, yeah, I mean, they are 5 years old, so, and they've been in a garage for the last, 3 years. This is kind of funny. I don't know if you can see this. You jar it a little bit too much and it fires. That can't be safe. What if these do it? These are a little bit better, but for what they are, they're fine for if you're just starting out and you want to know what this vaping thing is. But I don't know anybody who uses these with any regularity and actually enjoys them. I mean, my mom does, but she doesn't really vape. She just kind of does it so she doesn't have to leave the campus where she works. So that's what I started with, was the blues. And like I said, for what they are, they're fine if you're quitting smoking. They kind of feel like a cigarette. I also tried the Enjoy Kings. They're not bad. I mean, I don't really endorse them now simply because they're owned by Big Tobacco. Same thing with Blue, actually. They're owned by Big Tobacco now. See, I mean, I wouldn't recommend the Blue simply because, you try to get away from smoking. You don't want to really support them. I mean, unless you don't really care, eat your heart out. But I guarantee you're not going to care for it too much. The next thing I went to was this little Ego battery. And this is an Ego C. And, Ego batteries, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 clicks on. And it's ready to fire. And this came with this little piece of crap CE4. And I'm going to put a little bit of juice in here just so you can see how it vapes. But, I mean, not a big fan of these CE4s. Haven't been since I first got it. And this was my second attempt at quitting smoking. And, these, I don't know what it was about them. I don't know if it was the vapor production, the flavor, what, but I'm probably not going to get much vapor out of this. I cleaned the tank, so the coil might be a little bit wet. Yeah, not much. Yeah, this one's too wet to do anything with. But, I mean, this is an okay tank, for getting started out with. And just to try it, I mean, this thing was, I think, $20 for the whole setup. I bought some juice. It came with a charger. And that just, it didn't satisfy me, It just, whenever I take the first puff off of it, it was so harsh that a lot of times I couldn't even inhale. And from there, I decided, okay, I'm going to give this one more try. And this was probably about a week later. And I said, okay, I'm going to go over there and I'm going to see what they have. And I picked up this. This is an EVOD style battery. I mean, it's basically the same thing as the Ego C Twist, but this is or the Ego C. This is 900 mAh, and same thing, 5-button turn on, and then it's got the spinner down here to change the voltage, and it goes from 3.2 all the way up to 4.8 volts. And then I picked up, I mean, this is just a little clone. It's a clone of a ProTank, or ProTank 2, and this setup wasn't bad, This is what I actually ended up quitting with. I mean, it's got a little bit of vapor. Now I was running it at 4 volts. I mean, vapor generation is not bad, but this ultimately is what got me to quit. And I played around with this for a while, and I liked it, and decided I wanted to upgrade to something bigger. What I actually ended up upgrading to was an EVIC, which I no longer have. I gave it to my brother. So, the best equivalent to the EVIC that I have right now is I have an iTaste MVP. And this actually isn't mine, but this is an iTaste MVP Shine. And essentially this is what I switched to. You know, variable wattage, variable voltage, goes up to, I believe, let me see, 5 watt or 5 volts and 11 watts, you know, depending on what you want to use. I vape with watts, and this goes up to 11. I don't know if you can see that, but 11 watts. So did the same thing. You know, I just took my Pro Tank, stuck it on this bad boy. Well, my EVIC, and I was running it at, I don't know, I believe I was running at 10 watts at that time. This actually won't even fire on this because the pin on this is so jacked up because it's a clone. I don't recommend any of the clones of the Kanger tanks. They're all really cheap. So after that, I went to the Nautilus, and this is where I was just very jubilant about this. You know, with this tank and the variable wattage, much better vapor generation than this bad boy. I mean, this is great for getting off of it, but once you get into vaping, you want something, you know, not necessarily a box mod, but something that's variable voltage, variable wattage, and then something with an airflow control on the tank. There's a lot of options for it now. You know, there's the Aero tanks, you know, the Mini, the Mega, and then there's the Nautilus Mini. So yeah, I mean, that's really how I got started, you know, and I used my EVIC for a while, and I really loved it. And then I started watching, you know, web videos. Started out watching, you know, indoor smokers and you know, Tia vapes and stuff, and then I discovered Grim Green and Rip Trippers, and they got me into the world of mechs. And I love my mech mods. You know, I have a few of them. You know, I have my Meraxis here, and my Trident RDA, which looks like it's getting pretty dry. But I mean, this is what I use when I'm sitting at home. You know, don't have anywhere to go. Just having flavor ADD. I just drip a few drops, vapor. When she gets dry, you know, I drip a few more or something else maybe. You know, there's carryover, but that's right. Sometimes you get interesting flavors when you get some carryover there. Oh. The other stuff I was vaping didn't have nicotine in it. But I mean, yeah, this is a nice setup too. So I mean, that's really where I went to. You know, I started using mech mods, and I try to keep up with, you know, what's going on in the market and what's coming out new. And that's when I, you know, decided to get my my DNA 20 here. You know, went to the vape shop to get some juice and sat in there all lonely, and I was like, you know what? I want to try that. And they're like, oh, okay, we'll let you try it. So I tried it, and I just fell in love. I couldn't leave the store without it. And a lot of my mods I got at eCig Express. I mean, they have an online shop. Check them out. If you live in the Washington area, they have three locations. Staff's pretty friendly, you know. So I mean, check it out if you live in the Washington area, or if you just want to see what they have. They have a website. They do wholesale do-it-yourself mixing supplies and all kinds of stuff. So yeah, I mean, that's pretty much it for this video. You know, if you have any questions, feel free to leave me a comment. Like the video, subscribe, and if there's anything you want to see in the future, I'll see what I can do. So, for now, see you later, guys.